Wanted to do a short overview of MongoDB, which is one of the better IPOs that have come along recently. I'll get into the more detailed fundamental reasons on another video, but two things I wanted to show here. First of all, for pretty much any IPO that I invest in, I'm looking to ride a long-term trend. And the reason for that is that research has shown that the number one determinant of an IPO success is the long-term growth expectations of the industry that they're in. So in this case, with MongoDB, we're basically looking at cloud and also a change to NoSQL rather than the relational database. So like one of those more fundamental things, but that was the initial key reason I got involved in MongoDB generically. So more importantly though, from a more of a technical standpoint, once at the IPO releases, I almost never buy on the first day, and MongoDB is a classic example of why. So we can see there was a lot of selling pressure that kicked off the initial thing, and that's what I would like to avoid. There's many examples of IPOs that open and then pretty much go straight down for a while, so jumping in on the first day is not something I do. What I want to do is look for a trading range for it to base out and then buy on breakouts and accumulate from there. So as we can see, now this blue line right here that's running across, that is effectively the high of these first couple days, and I'm looking for that to break out above that. Now if we see what's happening here, we basically had it continue to dip. See, this will light up here. There we go. So that was your bottom, and as we started to approach the blue line, I jumped in a little bit early here and then had to bail because it was a premature purchase. And I'm just going to get rid of some of this. And moving over here, we had one more base and then started to buy this gap here. I'm not 100% sure what happened on that particular day, but regardless, that gap was what triggered my attention, and at that point I was pretty convinced it was going to break out, so I went and bought some early, and then of course we can see what transpired from there. It did actually break out. Now I probably should have accumulated more right at the breakout, but regardless, you can say I did accumulate on the way up here. I actually bailed on this moving average break, mostly because of what had happened. This is for April of 2018 when this was happening, and February and March of 2018 were just terrible for volatility in the market, so I was extremely nervous, and so I got out of that and did avoid this downdraft here that followed. And as we can see from here on out, did see one more moving average up and started accumulating along the way up, and of course the rest is history because we are doing quite well. It's probably too good right now. I'm sure it will actually likely fall back in the short term, but I do view this as a very much a long-term buy and hold type of situation for more fundamental reasons that I'll go into. But that's a quick example of not buying on the first day, waiting for the trading range to develop, and buying on the breakout.